Yeah, it just changes your perspective anytime you leave where you're at normally. And I had spent my whole life in New York or New York City, right around. And, we'd gone up and down the East Coast and we'd gone to the West Coast a little bit, but I'd never been international until I guess I was 26. Um, yeah, I was just too busy kind of surviving and getting by, you know what I mean? And then I went to Paris for the first time, and I went to Vietnam, and then I went to Mallorca, and I was just enthralled with all the beauty and just the scenes around me. So I was shooting just on a point and shoot. I don't even remember what kind of camera it was. But the compositions I felt were pretty good. Um, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to go home and I'm going to paint all this. So, but that actually never happened. My boyfriend at the time, he then gave me a real camera. My first real camera was a Nikon FA, and it was a 35 millimeter. I started shooting in color and in black and white. And then I took a couple of classes at Cooper Union, and I enjoyed them, but it still didn't click with me because in New York, like when you're studying photography, there's a lot of street photography involved, I feel like. And I don't know that that's my thing. I always felt I was invasive. I didn't want to approach people. I was a little shy. Like I didn't want to just approach people and say, oh, hey, can I take your picture? That's not me. And also I felt weird. I didn't want to use a long lens and be a creeper. You know what I mean? So that it didn't click. But then when I moved to San Francisco and I was shooting, San Francisco is the place, if you want to study photography or art, it is so beautiful. It's the rolling hills and the landscape, and 10 or 15 minutes in any direction, it's beautiful. Well, depending on traffic. But you go up to Marin and you have the Marin headlands, you've got the Golden Gate Bridge, you've got the ocean right there. I mean, it's fantastic. So it was a wonderful place to go to photo school.
When you went to photo school, though, it was just to study photography in general. It wasn't a specialization in commercial photography at that point, right?
I went to study commercial photography. So I got a BFA in commercial advertising photography with a specialization in still life product. And I also did some landscape photography. I had really wanted to shoot fashion. I don't know if I mentioned that last time, but I loved fashion on location. Think, Vanity Fair or Vogue, that kind of thing, big dresses in the middle of the desert, that kind of thing. But again, I realized, oh, I'm not 20. And you have to kind of be in New York or Los Angeles or Paris or Milan to do fashion. Like I tried doing a lot of fashion photography in San Francisco and you couldn't get the right models. Also I didn't have access while I was in school. I couldn't pay the models, you know what I mean? And I wasn't good enough yet that I could be testing with the agencies, and the agencies just, even when I got better, the models that were available were not the same talent. You know what I mean? So it was just tough all around, and there weren't as many fashion stylists to help you with wardrobe. And I just thought, oh gosh, what am I going to do? I don't want to just go to photo school and do nothing. I want to work. And I really loved landscape photography and still life photography. So I did a lot of product, like jewelry on reflective, surfaces, that kind of thing. And I think that really helped to prepare me for shooting interiors, because a still life is just like an interior is just like a still life, but really, really big, you know what I mean? So you're just kind of tweaking where everything goes, and it's all about the angles and the perspective and the light, you know what I mean? So